my Sagittarius. Happy birthday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful November. I know things are a little bit weird and a little bit crazy this time for your birthday season, but we're at the end of the year. It's been a really long year and we finally made it. So the astrology for you guys, let's talk about that really quick. Because the sun is now in Sagittarius and we have Venus in Scorpio now, there's this whole new outlook on things that are happening. Mercury moves into Sagittarius on the first day of December, which will be really nice because the intellect, the intelligence that you guys bring with a Mercury in Sagittarius is unmatched by anybody else. So even though even though Mercury is ruled by Virgo and Gemini, or rules Virgo and Gemini, the way that you guys use Mercury is in such an expansive way. So the things that might come up with Mercury in Sagittarius, there might be some miscommunications. Mercury is going to be squaring up with Neptune in the middle of the month, and that may bring, like, some people just won't understand where you're coming from. And especially because we have Saturn and Jupiter also moving from your from the place where your finances were center stage into more of a communicative sign for you guys. And how you are presenting yourself, how other people are seeing you, how things are being communicated back and forth, that's going to be more of a focus for you. There will be a lightening when it comes to your values, when it comes to the way that you value things in the world, and value yourself even. It's almost like a breath of fresh air. Speaking of air, as Jupiter and Saturn move into Aquarius and we go into a more, we start like really working with the air signs. We start working with the air quality, air element a little bit more. There's a very distinct shift in how you are interacting with other people. You may find that there are some people that just are never going to understand where you're coming from. And then there are some new people that are going to show up in your circle that understand you more than you thought that they might in the past. So there's really a big shift when it comes to how you're communicating. Is it going to be more effective? I think that you're going to learn a lot of ways where you used to create in one certain way, and now it's like the expansive energy of you creating, you're learning how to do it in a way that's going to be more long term and not so like let's get it all done right now and really hope for the best, right? No, you're slowing down, you're taking more steps. You want to see it through in a bigger way, a more objective kind of way. So the total solar eclipse, I'm sorry, my mind just went bloop, blank. The eclipse that's happening on the 14th, the new moon in Sagittarius eclipse. I think that this eclipse is really asking you guys to dig a little bit deeper in how you see your own space, how you see your own sense of accomplishment, how you are valuing yourself in a way, because it's interesting, Sagittarius, you're coming into your season with a whole different view on who you are. That's why I'm sort of like jumping through the things, because you don't even see yourself in the same way that you saw yourself a month ago or 2 months ago or a year ago, especially a year ago, but more in the short interim, right? In the short term, the way that you are stepping into a new year is completely different than you would have done in the past. And I think that because it's completely different than what you've done in the past, there isn't really a specific planetary transit that can tell you why it's happening or what's happening or where it's happening. And I think it's just the encompass, like everything that is coming down to who you are and who you want to be, really who it is that you want to be. It's all coming down to this season for you. It's a pretty big step into the future, and you know, allowing yourself to expand for this time. That's going to be, it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be really, really worth it in the end, I think. So let's take a look at the cards. I am still offering the 6-month forecast readings. So if you would like to look at the forecast, and in these forecast readings, I've also been doing the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that's happening on December 21st. So I'm going to be showing you where in your chart that will be happening. So you'll sort of have an idea of what to do that, but that's only happening with the personal readings. Okay, your entire reading came out. All right, all right, all right. I'm like rolling up my sleeves. Let's do this. Okay. So you have a lot of people around you right now. There's a lot of feminine energy around you right now, Sagittarius. We have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Swords. It feels like you really want to be able to approach something in a softer kind of way. Why are you fighting yourself on it though? That's the interesting part to me. That Nine of Swords, it's like the approach that you want to take, the direction you want to go in is different than what you've done in the past. And it's in a much calmer, a much softer, a much more delicate kind of way. And I think that that's throwing you off because you're like, I didn't realize that I could be such a soft I didn't realize that I could be this person. The Five of Wands, and then there you are, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Two of Swords. If you, and see, this is where the miscommunication is coming, right? Because we talked about how Mercury is going to be squaring, and it you know, it's also going to be on the South Node also. It's going to conjoin the South Node later on in the month a little bit. So there's this miscommunication because it's almost as if you don't want to see everything. You want to believe what you want to believe, and maybe, and whether you're right or whether you're wrong, I don't even think it matters at this point. I think it's more about tolerance. I think it's more about allowing yourself to see things from a different perspective, from a different viewpoint. And maybe that's what this Jupiter and Saturn shifting to Aquarius for you is really representing, like looking at the way other people are doing things and seeing things. Because it feels like to me that there are some people that are around you that would really like to be able to approach you, but it feels kind of cut off. It feels kind of shut down. Hold on one second for me. Sorry. Okay. The biggest thing I want to say is if you are not agreeing with someone, or you guys aren't on the same page, I almost want you to put it down and come back to it in another way. Because anybody that's trying to approach you right now with something that you are conflicted with will literally get like a tongue lashing. Like, you guys are not having it when it comes to other people trying to create chaos in your life, or trying to come tell you something. You're like, don't come up to me and tell me something that I already know, or that I'm already, it feels very definitive, right? Like you're super, super like, this is what I want. This is where I'm coming from. This is what I mean. And nobody can tell me any different. But the biggest thing about, Jupiter moving into Aquarius is tolerance and expansion and really listening to like really allowing ourselves to expand together. Like it's more of a humanitarian, it's more of a community kind of vibe. So it's very interesting. So let's see, what's this Queen of Cups? Let's clarify some of this. And maybe it's that the other people aren't necessarily working with you, and you would just rather not expend your energy on the people that would rather argue with you than work with you. So we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Moon. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer energy. And I feel like they want to approach you, but I'm not entirely sure they're ready, or it's almost as if they have feelings. There are some things that are really beneath the surface with this water sign. And the Knight of Cups tells me they might even be struggling to want to approach you with this Nine of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So let's see. What's up with the Knight of Cups? Oh. So there's an apology here. Or it's like a truce. It feels like a truce. So we have the Star, the softening, right? And maybe it's you that wants to be a little bit softer, and you do want to create a better line of communication with people. But that Star on the Knight of Cups, this is a healing energy. This is about really alchemizing the energy and going from something that was a little bit more difficult and creating a safer place, a safer space to be in. Let's see what the Nine of Swords is. Because, all right. Woo, interesting. Now, it doesn't have to be a water sign. It could just be somebody who's very intuitive. But it feels like this is probably your person. The Lovers on the Nine of Swords. The Lovers also represents decisions that we have to make, and it also represents coming into alignment with yourself. It's like the masculine and feminine energy coming together and making you whole. And if that's something you've been struggling with, I feel like this more has to do more with a relationship, but we can't be in relationships that are healthy and loving and not toxic and non-triggering unless we know who we truly are. Because you could easily get into a relationship and then project all of your emotional baggage, all of your emotional bullshit onto the person you're in a relationship with, or you can deal with all of your emotional stuff on your own and then attract a relationship that you want to be in. And I think that it's sort of been like a contentious thing for you up until now. There's also, it feels like there's almost like a peanut gallery trying to tell you how to live your life. And when you have a lot of people in your space trying to project certain outcomes on you, you could also be dealing with an Aquarius or a Gemini energy with this Queen of Swords down here. But when you have a lot of people in your space and they are projecting their own opinions or creating chaos within your life, that may be where you're shutting yourself out. And you're like, I know what it is that I want in my life. I know the things that I want to do. And, something that I've really, I feel like you're really holding on to your opinions in a big way. The other thing is it doesn't really matter what other people have to say about what, don't hold on to the expectations of other people. I want you to hold on to the expectations that you have for yourself. Maybe not make them too high, but with the Four of Pentacles on the Five of Wands, the way that we can, you know, create space within an argument is to say, we're not agreeing on this today. Let's walk away and come back at another time. Because I think that the way that you guys are now learning how to interact with other people is to recognize that you may not be right every single time. I know what I just said. I'm aware of what I just said. And yes, Sagittarius energy is so intelligent, and you guys usually have the right answer. But what about those times that other people are right? What about those times when you don't have the answer? Can you be open enough to allow other people to give you that answer? We don't want to be so shut down. And I say we because I'm a Sagittarius moon. I get it. I think I'm right often. And I have to rein myself in often. So we think that we always have the right answer. Don't hold on to that too much. I think that 2021, and really for the next 2.5 years while Saturn is in Aquarius, it's going to be showing you how to speak your truth and to recognize other people that speak your truth as well, and being open to communicating effectively with people again, right? Because it feels a lot like people have been pushing against you for quite some time. But it does sort of feel like it's a homecoming is what I want to call it. A celebration, coming together, like-minded individuals. On the Three of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, I don't typically go straight to a third-party situation with the Three of Cups, but I am getting sort of a message that if you're involved with more than one people, more than one person, more than one people, that was weird grammar. If you're involved with more than one person, the honesty, like you have to be fully honest about that, only because it'll come out. If you're not being fully honest about it, it'll come out anyways. So you have to be fully present and acknowledge that there are other people that are in the middle of this and may have feelings regarding you, you know. And if it's like, if you both of, you know, if you're in a relationship and you guys have decided that you want to have an open relationship, that's perfectly fine. But in all things, be very integral. It's one of the things that I like about Sagittarius energy is you guys can be extremely loyal and integral when you know what you want. But if you're somebody who's on the fence and you're not entirely sure of what it is that you want, if you're a Sagittarius, you have a lot of Sagittarius energy and you don't know what you want, you could be swayed either way. And this is in everything, not just in romantic relationships, but in everything. But there does feel like there's almost a new group of energy that's coming in. And I don't want you to hold on to the grudge. I don't want you to hold on to the disagreement. I don't want you to hold on to the grudge. Because I feel like there's an apology in here somewhere. Could be from that water sign. Could be from this air sign. And I feel like it's been something that you have been waiting for a while. For quite some time. We have the Emperor on the Queen of Swords. If this Queen of Swords thinks that they're totally in control of things, no. Could be a boss figure. If they're your boss, then I would not argue with them right now because you're not going to be understood. You won't be understood in December at all. If you try and argue with somebody who thinks that they know everything, and that Emperor, you know, thinks they know everything. There's also, you know, Mars and Aries, where your energy is going to be trining that Mars and Aries throughout December. And so there is a chance of fighting. There is a chance of miscommunication. And a lot of it is because you don't have all the information. You don't have the big picture. So let's see, Two of Swords. Saw that coming. When in doubt, pause. Bottom of the deck is the Empress. Okay. Don't hold on to the words that were said, because the more you allow yourself to sit in that frustration, right? This Four of Pentacles and Five of Wands, I keep coming back to it. Because the more you allow yourself to sit in the things that were said, and the more you're frustrated by that, the harder it's going to be for you to pick yourself up and move on. There's a, you know, we've been on pause. We've been on pause for this entire year, basically. Even during the times that we haven't been on lockdown, it still feels extremely restricted. And I feel like in December, when things start to when the energy gets really heavy, when things start to feel like you have lost control, like you don't even know what's happening anymore, when you can't even form a coherent sentence because your brain is just all over the place, just take a minute, take a pause. That Tower and the Hanged Man is giving you an opportunity to start over again, to start fresh. And it's not going to be at square one. And it's not going to be easy, but it will be absolutely worth it. Some of you may even find yourself in a really surprising situation. The Empress, ooh, and then the Hermit. If you're dealing with a Libra energy or a Virgo energy or a Taurus energy, I feel like you're not sure about either one of them. You're kind of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This could also have to do with the water sign or the air sign. But I think that now is the time that in order for you to create more in your life, in order for you to feel really good about the direction that you're going in, taking a moment, reassessing what happened this year for you on an individual basis, because everybody's perception of this year is going to be different. Some people had a really, really bad year, and there's no amount of spirituality that can help a person whose year has been completely taken away from them. However, when you have faith, when you allow yourself to say, okay, I understand, I see it now. I see that the direction that everything was going in and the way that everything was happening needed to shift and needed to be put into a different perspective, because in the past you couldn't see it. And now the universe is kind of giving you that opportunity to stop, to take a paused moment in your life and I literally want to say, reassess the damages. Shift your perspective. Take things a little bit slower. It doesn't all have to be done at once. But it does feel like big things are changing. And you're totally, this eclipse is bringing a whole different perspective to who you are and going into 2021. And so I feel like whatever it is that you may be struggling with this month, it will absolutely be overcome because you're placing value on who you are. And you're not necessarily placing value on what other people want to see from you. It's like the entertaining Sagittarius is no longer, like, you guys will still be entertaining, but it's not going to be to the benefit of other people. It's going to be to the benefit of yourself. And that's what feels like this whole shift is happening for you. All right, you guys, come join us on the memberships. This month, instead of love readings, you guys will be getting the extended forecast readings for free in the membership. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, that's going to hopefully start the first week in December. I'm going to start doing the forecast, the general forecast readings, and members always get the extended second half of the year for free. So that'll be fun. And, you know, we hang out with each other on Discord and we do a lot of really fun things. And you also get a discount on any kind of service, readings, workshops, anything. So memberships are awesome. If you want to get a 6-month forecast reading with me, there are still openings for that in December. I may close that down in like a week's time. So make sure, because it's getting filled up pretty fast. And I don't want to extend that out anymore because I would probably not have any energy left. So, but I love you guys and I hope you have a wonderful birthday season, and I will see you for the new year. Bye.